Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be giving your instructions for your next assignment. It's going to be a summative assignment. So it'll be an immune system comic strip. Let me first tell you a little bit about the deadline for this assignment and the amount of days that you will have to work on this assignment. So we are right now in the week 28, which is April 13 to 17. You will have all of class number 2 and a little bit of class number 3, which is our live session. So I'll be giving you a little bit of time in our live session also to be working on this. And then you will have all of next week's class number 1. So either Monday or Tuesday, April 20th and 21st, you'll have all of that class to work on this assignment, and it will be due at the end of that day. So this assignment will either be due at the end of Monday, April 20th, if your class number 1 is on Monday, or at the end of Tuesday, April 21st, if your class number 1 is on Tuesday. So the instructions for the immune system comic strip. So we've seen already a little bit of the immune system, so I'm going to be checking your understanding on the immune system. So you will be creating a comic strip related to the immune system. The storyline of that comic strip should be as follows. So it's going to be the following storyline. There is a pathogen, any type of pathogen, that has been able, it has been able to cross the first and second line of defense of a person. So it has been able to cross these defenses. It has crossed these barriers, and it should be evident in your comic strip how it crossed this barrier. So you should be showing these barriers in the first part of your comic strip, okay? The barrier, the first line of defense and the second line of defense, and you can choose what examples of barriers you can use. You can choose that it has crossed through the barrier of the skin, and then it has crossed the eyes of the macrophages, or you can choose that it has crossed the respiratory system and then it hasn't been killed by the fever or the inflammation. Okay, so those are the barriers that you can choose to show how this pathogen has crossed them. And since it's crossed these barriers, it is now being attacked by your B cells and your T cells of the third line of defense. So it's being attacked by the humoral response and by the cell-mediated response. You may choose what type of pathogen you want in your comic strip. So it can be a bacteria, a virus, a parasite. Regardless, you should look in Google how to draw or how to show a bacteria, virus, or parasite so that it's kind of factual, kind of related to how they actually look. But if you want to make them a little goofy, if you want to give them faces or give them things like that, you can, okay? So I'm allowing you creativity in this sort of activity as well. Okay, please make sure that the immune system cells and products, for example, when you're showing the B cells, the T cells, the antibodies, the macrophages, and things like that, are kind of accurately portrayed. Again, you can give them faces, but they should have, if it's an antibody, it should look like a little clip. Okay, so macrophages should look like something that is eating other stuff. So you can give them like a comical sense, of course, but try to make them a little bit accurate. So just quick Google search, okay? What are your overall requirements for this activity? You should have at least 4 panels, so 4 different boxes, okay? So if you are if you know what a comic strip looks like, it looks like a set of different boxes, and in each one of those boxes there's a different scenario, right? So you should have at least 4 scenarios, 4 panels. If you can do more are encouraged. If you can make them fun, it should be creative, it should have a storyline, that should be awesome. You should come up with how that person got infected. You can also come up with how that person defeats the virus, defeats the pathogen, so it can be really fun. A comic strip can be digital or physical, just like your one-pager that I assigned to you like a couple of weeks ago. It can be digital or physical, but remember, if it is digital, it can't just be copied and pasted images of Google. You should be using clip arts, you should be using your creativity. It shouldn't be something I can find easily in Google and completely forget about it. It should be something cool, okay? There should be writing in your comic strip, so it doesn't only have to be images. There should be writing to tell me the storyline, and it should be easy to follow. It should be aesthetically pleasing. There's also going to be a rubric at the end of this page. I'm going to show you that in a second. There's going to be vocabulary that I do require to see in your comic strips. So this is the vocabulary that I do require to see. You should write in some point that it's the immune system. You should write innate immunity. Remember, this is your first and second line of defense, so innate immunity should be in the panels of the first and second line of defense and how that pathogen is crossing those defenses. Adaptive immunity, third line of defense, okay? Lymphocytes, remember the lymphocytes are the immune system cells for the adaptive immunity, the B cells and the T cells, okay? Lymphocytes should be there, pathogens should be there, humoral response should be in one of your panels with your B cells, cell-mediated response should be one in the panels with your T cells. Okay, so these are the vocabularies that I'm requiring you. It is not limited to this. You could use more vocab as well. Okay, so before I go into what I just passed, let me show you what your rubric is. So when it says times 2, it means that these 4 points will be multiplied times 2. So in total, this could give you 8 points. This could give you 8 points, 16, and this could give you 4 points. So components, just all of the information is accurate and it's shown a vocabulary. You're using all of the vocabulary that I'm showing you above and even more, and it is super easy to understand. And neatness and organization, it is organized, it is neat, it is easy to follow, and it has at least 4 panels. Okay, it'll be a grade out of 20, of course, because of 418, 416, sorry, and 4 more 20, but I will convert that into a grade over 100 so that it can be a summative grade. Okay, so that is just the information for your summative project, for your comic strip that you will have until Monday, April 20th, if that's your first class, or Tuesday, April 21st, if that is your first class to get done. So you'll have all of class number 2, part of class number 3, and all of class number 1 of the following week to get this done. To keep track of what you're doing in class number 2, so this will be the next class after you've watched this video. In class number 2 of this week, you're going to be showing me the following. You're going to be uploading the following. What will you be uploading today in class number 2 to show your progress and understanding of the immune system? You're going to fill in the blank of these cells that are obviously not filled up with a description of the response and an example of how it works. So I'm showing you the different responses of your immune system. First line of defense, the second line of defense, and the humoral response and cell-mediated response within the third line of defense. In the first line of defense, I'm telling you what players are acting in this first line of defense, like skin, mucus, etc. So you need to describe what the first line of defense does, how it functions, and maybe just give me an example, okay? Same thing for the second line of defense, non-specific internal barriers, like what? Inflammation, phagocytes. So tell me how it works, how does the second line of defense work, and give me an example, inflammation or phagocytes. In the humoral response, tell me how the humoral response works, and tell me how the B cells function in that response. And same thing, tell me how the cell-mediated response works, and how the T cells function in the cell-mediated response. So that's the first thing you do in class number 2, during class number 2. The second thing you do is that you start thinking about your comic strip. This is your first class where you're starting to think about how to do this comic strip. So you're going to use this page, this half a page, or if you need more space, just get a page. Use this page to roughly sketch what will be in each panel of your comic strip. Remember that there has to be a minimum of 4 panels. Even if you're doing this digitally, I do want a rough sketch, because even if you're doing it digitally, you're going to be using clip art. So I want you to be showing me the rough sketches, okay? So show me physically in a handwritten way your rough sketches for your comic strip. You can either print this page out and just do it right over here, or you can just do it in a separate page and upload your work into the Schoology assignment. Okay, so right over here there should be at least 4 different boxes, and in each box there should be a rough sketch of what the storyline is, how the pathogen is working, how it's crossing the barriers, how it's being attacked. Okay, so that is your assignment. That is your assignment for class number 2, and that's also gonna be the assignment that you're going to be working on your summative project that you will be working on, that again, I repeat, will be due either Monday, April 20th or Tuesday, April 21st. We will also have a live session before that, so I'm going to be able to answer questions regarding this project and the timeline and everything at that point. So hopefully this made sense. Thank you.